evening, CUC students. This is your host speaking, Christopher Villacorta Lopez.
And I'm Krisha Backin. From earthquakes in Bali to outages all over the world, we have it all here on Point News. Ladies, how far would you go for the love of your life? A female passenger on board a plane in China may have taken it too far. The airplane bound for northwest China was forced to do an emergency landing in a region in China. It was grounded for 6 hours because the female passenger made a threat that she would detonate a bomb on board. 6 hours later, they found out there was no bomb. She had a problem with her boyfriend and wanted to land in that city to talk to him. There is little evidence of organized terrorist threats in the region, despite continuing political arrest. I personally would not go that far for my boyfriend.
Wow, Teresa, that story certainly was, dare I say, an explosive marital conflict. Up next, a 6.1 magnitude earthquake strikes Bali, a popular tourist island located 60 miles northeast of the center point, injuring 50 people. Most of them were students and teachers from 2 high schools that caved in. Cars were crushed from falling concrete, and even Hindu temples were damaged. Indonesia straddles fault lines, making it a prime candidate for both seismic and volcanic activity. The U.S. Geological Survey state that the earthquake was not strong enough to start a tsunami, especially the tsunami faced back in 2004, caused by a 9.1 magnitude earthquake.
Thank goodness it wasn't any worse. Our next story comes from another region of the world, Berlin. Since last Monday, 16 firebombs have been found in 9 different locations. The 16th was found on October 13th next to train tracks. 2 have detonated. 1 caused damage to a track west of the city, while the other ignited but did not explode in Berlin. Previous unknown leftist group has claimed responsibility for one of the bombs. Experts were required to detonate, but there is an unknown total number because officials say that they don't know where and how many bombs there might be. Officials are not sure where and how many bombs there are.
Well, that's it for our global news. Next, we have Charisse reporting from Wall Street.
Increasing financial strife around the world has caused the Occupy Wall Street protests to spread. It's an ongoing series of demonstrations beginning in New York City that is now entering its 5th week and has expanded to nearly 78 cities around the world, calling for peaceful occupation of Wall Street to protest growing disparity in wealth, corporate influence on democracy, and the lack of legal repercussions behind the global financial crisis. For many supporters, the common statement about government corruption is the excessive influence of big businesses and the wealthy 1% of Americans on U.S. laws and policies, and that the 99th percentile must now take responsibility to lead and inspire change. The movement has brought about international attention and thought. Canadian organizers are now working on plans to bring Occupy Wall Street to our streets. At least 15 cities from coast to coast, including Toronto, St. John's, and Vancouver, have had smaller-scale protests and sit-ins with hundreds of frustrated citizens marching and camping out. The movement has survived the weekend, with many making plans to continue throughout the week. No news of major protesting issues have been reported yet from the Occupy movement in Canada, and it is expected to continue growing. Who knows? Maybe Occupy Lacombe is next. That's Charisse Pierman signing off from Wall Street.
This may not be news for BlackBerry holders, but for all the Mac users out of the loop, the BlackBerry phone faced a system crash. RIM, or Research in Motion, was responsible for the crash. What happened was a transition to a backup switch, which did not function, caused a backlog of data. The crash began on Monday and was resolved Thursday. There is talks of a possible compensation.
Ladies, are you in need of someone who can fix your hair? Someone who can understand your hair needs? Well, Heather Piper is your girl. Book your appointment today. Also, we recognize the loss of all Aurora sports teams this week. But always remember, this school is always behind you and we will all support you 100%.
Next in campus news, would you like your voice to be heard? Join Mr. Hunter, VP of Student Services, for lunch on Tuesday, October 27th, in the Sunshine Room at the cafeteria for dialogue. This is a time to discuss your ideas, concerns, and questions, and have a free lunch. This is your host speaking, Christopher Villacorta Lopez.
And I'm Krisha Backin. Thank you for watching On Point News.